Hey, hello, hello. Oh my goodness, so many people are joining. Let me see if how do I, okay. Okay. Hi everyone, welcome, welcome, welcome. Just waiting, I just sent Tiff a invitation. Hey from LA. Hello, I'm so excited. I'm a little tiny bit nervous. So we'll see how this goes. I just sent her a request. So welcome to the first, here we go. Welcome everyone. I think TiffsBass is joining now.
Hey, there we are. He did it. This is the first time I did a joint live.
This is the first time
Myself.
I'm doing a joint live as well. People are joining in and I'm so excited. I was just saying how I was a little nervous, but let's get this convo started. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
All right, well, let me do it justice and do what I'm supposed to be doing to intro you the way you are deserving.
Oh.
TiffsBass the Artist is an accomplished musician who began piano as a young child. She has been in love with music ever since. She began formal music training at 11 years old and shortly after starting her primary instrument, bass guitar. She continued her education and later obtained an MBA from American Intercontinental University. TiffsBass is a member of the Grammy Award Recording Academy, Washington, D.C. chapter, which is the premier outlet for honoring achievements in recording arts and supporting the music community. She is also a bass clinician, bass instructor, and speaker for music conferences and schools for students wanting to pursue a career in music. On stage, she has been privileged to work with national and internationally recording artists. Are you ready? Yolanda Adams, Kenny Lattimore, Lisa Ray, Todd Delaney, Chris Woods, Kiki Wyatt, Lynn Whitfield, Mesa Leaks, Avery Sunshine, Sasha Allen, Paul Champion, Mrs. Kristen Scott of Basketball Wives LA, and many more, but it goes on. She currently has 2 music singles called Viscosity and Paradise, but let's talk about firsts. Amongst Tiffany's many accomplishments, she is the first Black female bass guitarist to endorse a custom handcrafted Elrick Bass Guitars. She is the first US based endorsee of GRBass amps. Tiffany's most recent endorsements are with Bartolini pickups and electronics, LK straps, and also her favorite string band, Elixir Strings. TiffsBass is partnered with Calabrio Studios, which she endorses and where she now runs private bass guitar lessons for students. You have one? Call her up. TiffsBass has been in and on multiple radio and podcasts and music videos. Most recently, she was featured in Bass Musicians magazine in the February 2021 issue. She was also afforded the amazing opportunity to play bass guitar for the New York off-Broadway play For Colored Girls in fall and winter of 2019. And tonight, August 25th, 2021 at 6:04 p.m., she is with us here on Convos with Caz. So, Convos with Caz community, throw up those hearts, wave your hands, and let's give a warm welcome to Tiffany TiffsBass Lloyd. Welcome.
Thank you.
Did I do you justice with that?
Oh my gosh. Too much. You did great. Thank you.
You're well deserving. So I just want to thank you so much for being my first guest on Convos with Caz. I just want to shout you out too, because I reached out to you. We were in a mastermind academy together, and
Yeah.
I looked at your page and I was like, oh, she's dope. And I had this whole idea about Convos with Caz, and I've been wanting to do it for a really long time. And I just was like, I don't know. And I reached out to you and you were like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
And then I faded off into the darkness.
You tried. You tried to.
I tried. And you hit me
tried.
up.
Yeah.
You hit me up and you were like, what are we doing?
Right.
And that really put a battery in my back. So I want to thank you, because this is the first time we are actually speaking ever.
Know. That's crazy. I know. That's so cool.
So I humbly thank you for giving me what I needed and kicking this off with me.
Oh, thank you. I'm honored. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, so look, let's just jump into some questions that I have for you. I just read that you started your musical journey at 11 years old. And I think at 11, I was like, oh, let me pick the recorder. And you, my dear, picked the bass guitar. So exactly how does that happen? Were you listening like your Bootsy Collins? Like, what made you at 11 go and was that in your like elementary school? Like, oh, bass guitar, I'll pick that.
No, it wasn't. I always say bass guitar picked me, because I started off on piano. My sister, who's on here watching, I saw her sign on. My sister, Lisa, she used to play. She kind of still plays piano. So I used to want to do everything she did. So I used to sneak in the living room after she would get done practicing, and I would try to do what she did. So I was, and my mom put me in piano lessons and all that stuff, and then got a little bit older, and I always say bass found me. I wasn't listening to any bass players. I didn't know what a bass was, let alone a bass player. I was listening to just general music. A lot of it was gospel and things like that, and I kept hearing the sound of bass. I didn't know what it was, and I inquired about it, and I found out. Long story short, fast forward, I learned how to play. Yeah, here we are.
and here we are.
We are.
And look at the accolades that you have gotten. And what I didn't say is the first for to endorse. Excuse me. Let me drink some water here. I'm excited.
Yes, drink water.
And to my friends that know me, it's water and not anything else. So you were the first, and I went to those websites and I saw you, and I'm like, yes, Black woman, like stand up on and do the damn thing. So that is exciting, because there are so many young women out there that have never, I never saw a Black female, let alone bass guitar player when I was growing up. So you are an example, and I think that's so very dope. Very dope.
Thank you.
So, okay, let's keep going here. So in 2020, the world basically, shut down. We were being crippled by this pandemic, which we're still kind of in. But in April of 2020, Guitar Girl said this: Tiffany TiffsBass Lloyd is an absolute genius with the bass guitar. So here's my question to you. It seemed like when the world was turning upside down, you would turn it up. Talk about how you navigated your creativity and being consistent during a time when people were out here struggling.
Well, for starters, I finally took a break, because the year before I was running, and I tell this a lot. I was sleeping in airports and train stations and things like that. So I was on the road. And I was tired. I didn't realize it until the pandemic hit and sat everybody down. So I first took weeks to just rest that I hadn't seen since I was probably like 7 years old. Really, I hadn't rested at all for a while. Got rest, but not like just solid rest. So first, that's what I first did. And then I just picked up and started running. Literally, everything that I needed to do or wanted to do, I just took it with full force and ran. I went harder than I was already going hard, but I went harder. So really, sometimes I forget that we're in a pandemic, and I'm not making light of it, but just the fact that my workload is a little heavier than it was, and I didn't imagine that being so, but it just gave me more time to get other things in order that I couldn't get when I'm, out all the time, and just sit down and just go after things more strategically that I was already planning to do, but it just gave me more time during the pandemic to just really sit down and go after, get things done, and that opened up more opportunities that I didn't see coming. So
now, did you get pretty much what I did? I'm sorry. Did you find that you were doing a lot of stuff kind of like virtually, like we're doing here? Like, did you feel like I hate to say this, I kind of got the virtual bug for Instagram later into the pandemic. But did you find yourself like pulling out your bass guitar and like were you just playing and and kind of just grooving on your Instagram or your social media. Like, how did you, you know, we live and love through music, and we feel the artists, we feel their pain, we feel their love, we feel their joy. So did you do that? Like, were people saying like, gosh, I feel what you're giving right now?
Yeah, I would say I have more time to finally give more of myself, my style, because a lot of times you're just playing for other people, and the only time I really get a chance to show myself on bass is during my shows. So I do, you know, I started doing shows in 2018 as far as my solo artist shows. So that's when I can display TiffsBass, right?
Okay.
But during the pandemic, everything stopped. So that gave me more of a chance to actually sit down and do more studio work, of course, and then also just showcase myself. I have some videos that I put up since the start of last year where I was just in a studio doing something, whether it was just an exercise that I wanted to show people that I already do, or a cover to a song, or just any way to show how TiffsBass expresses herself, you know, outside of, like I said, the live shows. So that's what I did. And of course, a lot of work turned to more studio work, more recordings, more pre-recordings, more music videos. You know, I did a few of those so far during the pandemic. So that's pretty much what the pandemic did with me. It turned a lot of stuff virtual, like you said. I had never heard of Zoom. You know, even before the pandemic, I was doing these interviews, but they weren't on Zoom. So I had never heard of Zoom, and now everything's on Zoom. My workouts are on Zoom.
Everything is on Zoom.
Yeah, my students
And
are
you know,
on
it's
Zoom.
funny, Zoom just has a brand, right? Because there's like, there's other things, Ring Central, there's FaceTime, there's all these other apps, but Zoom has a brand, good and bad. They have a brand, but I'm thankful for this. I got to be careful when I say this, but the pandemic allowed all of us to sit down. You know, I was at a point in my life where I was getting up at 4:30 in the morning and going to work out and then going to work. And I was like, I said to myself right before the pandemic, how am I going to sustain this? And God was like, don't worry about it. You're about to sit down. And I did. And coming out of this now, I feel like I'm in a shift, right? So that's interesting. Do you feel like now that we're starting to come out, I know that you've been on stage, we're going to talk about that in a little bit, but do you feel like there's now a shift and you're moving in a different direction, or?
Big time, big time. One big thing that I started, I know you know the late Kobe Bryant, and it's funny because my first time going to the Grammys was the day he died, on the Grammy day last year. And, you know, I was already a fan, but I was more so of a fan of his work ethic. You know, I always follow his work ethic. And then when he passed away, I saw even more of his work ethic. You know, I watched a lot of his interviews that I hadn't seen already. So that inspired me last year to start a different schedule. Like, I always schedule my days out, no matter what. Even before the pandemic, I would schedule my entire day out. That keeps me more productive. But when the pandemic started, I changed it, and I became even more productive. So I scheduled my days out, kind of modeled myself after Kobe Bryant's schedule that he used to follow. And that was my shift. I already started shifting before the pandemic, but it really turned my day around. So even though I don't have to necessarily be, you know, every single place I used to have to be right now, because a lot of concert venues are closed, even though we're starting to do more concerts, like I did one, but we're still kind of like restricted in that sense. But I still start my day out 7 a.m. I'm out on the football field crawling, working out. Like, it doesn't matter if I can't, you know, go in the gym all the time like I want to, or like things aren't really normal yet. But the shift is now I have a new way of doing things. So,
well, I'm going to remember you at 7 a.m. too, because I have to get back on my morning workout schedule. I'm trying to fit it in during my day, but I find that in the morning I knock it out and I feel good.
Fit your day in with your workout. Don't fit your workout in with your day. Fit your day in with your workout.
Yeah, I heard that. Fit your day in with your workout. I'm listening too, but I want everybody else to hear it. So let's talk about some other stuff, because you're amazing, and I want to make sure we capture all of this, right? I want everybody to hear this. In July of this year, you were listed as one of the top 10 female entrepreneurs in guiding us into a better 2022.
Yes.
You were amongst women such as the owner of Spanx, the CEO of Goalie, and more. What did that feel like? They said, TiffsBass is the future.
Yeah, I'm still kind of shocked, but I mean, it feels great. It's definitely to me in my head, one of my more elite accomplishments. It feels amazing. I'm still kind of,
because you are amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hands in
It
there.
it really feels like, wow, you know, hard work pays off. That's what one of the feelings are. But you know, it's yeah, I'm still like, oh my God.
And now you
And even
added that Mamba work ethic too, so
yeah,
you're gonna
yeah,
soar.
yeah.
That's
That's
amazing.
good.
So let's get into your music. So
Yeah.
I was so excited to give you like the dopest intro I could that I forgot to play your. I already had it teed up to play Paradise like behind you,
Oh,
but
it's fine. It's
first
fine.
time,
Thank
right?
you.
So
No, it's
so when I
okay.
think about Paradise, I think about a place that I want to go to relax and be free and
Mm,
just kick back.
right, right.
Why did you name your single Paradise? Like what evoked that?
The thing that inspired me to title it Paradise, it's not anything necessarily to do with the actual music, but the title just represents where you are when you're in your happiest place. You know, when you're at your, not necessarily the top of your game, but your most joyous place, your happiest place in life. That's paradise to me. It doesn't matter what you're doing, what your profession is, or anything. Paradise is, yeah, your best self. You're living your best life at your, you know, at your best level. So that's paradise to me. Of
You
course,
know,
there's real
it's
paradise.
and you know, I'm gonna listen to that more because I need to be in paradise in specific moments. Like I should have been
Yeah.
listening to that all day today in my 9 to 5,
Uh,
the thing that currently pays my bills. But I like that because it's when you're living your best because you feel
mhm.
good. It's just
Right,
the word evokes that emotion of I'm relaxed, I'm calm, I'm collective, I can do this. Or I can
right,
get ready to do whatever it is I need to do once I
right,
leave paradise.
right,
So I
right.
like that. Okay. So you were talking about, you know, the world is now starting to open back up. And I saw you on stage this past weekend
Oh,
via your
yes,
IG page, and you
yes,
were part of the Don't Mute DC movement activation with some other dope ass Black female musicians.
oh my
Talk
gosh, thank
about
you.
what that was about, how you became a part of that movement, and what was the goal of the event? It was at the Kennedy Center too, right?
Right, it was, yes, at the
Tell us
Kennedy Center.
about that because I used to live in DC and I know there are a lot of people on here that are in the DC
Oh,
metro area. So I'm hoping that
yeah.
they're gonna not just give you a follow today, but give you a download
Yes,
of
give me
Paradise.
download and
So
follow. Yes, yes. That was a great event. Well, okay, the way I got recruited into that, the drummer, one of the there was two drummers on the show, Twink and Shannon. I don't know if they're signed on, but Twink asked me about it. She said, "Are you available for this?" You know, the general things that you ask when you know, see if someone can do something. And I said, "Yeah, I'm available that date or whatever." So, long story short, it ended up being with a crew that I do work with sometimes. The girls, most of the girls in that group on stage that you saw with Belladonna, amazing band, amazing, as you can hear, amazing musicians. Twink is not actually a part of Belladonna. The other drummer that was on the stage is Shannon. I don't think you, well, it's kind of hard to see how I had the camera turned, but if you see the
yeah,
general
I only
picture,
really saw like I
yeah,
saw like a drummer.
yeah, Twink, they both killed it. I mean, they amazing musicians, and that's pretty much how I got, you know, into that particular show. Don't use DC. That's pretty much a movement that, as far as I know, they're trying to take go-go, I believe, out of the area or out of DC, and you know.
Oh, I'm losing you a little bit, and I hope it's not my connection. Oh no, it's circling. I don't know if it's me or not. In technology, come on, technology gods, don't do this to me on my first convos with Caz. Oh, you can hear me? Okay. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear TiffsBass? Can somebody let me know what's going on? Anybody? Does anybody hear me? Does anybody hear Tiff? I see people are still joining, so that's great, but can you hear? Okay, so I think Tiff got disconnected. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send her another quick message because she's dope and we need to hear more from her. But are you guys enjoying Convos with Cass so far? This is my first conversation, and I picked a dope ass bass guitar player in TiffsBass. So thank you for riding. She's coming back. We got some more really good stuff coming. So, okay, she says she just sent a request. Okay, I see that you're here. Let me see if I can get you in. Hold on. Technology, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. It said it was sent, Tiff. So, so if you're in DC, definitely make sure you give TiffsBass a follow and follow her. And again, follows are great, but we need support out here. So go and give Paradise a download. She has another single, Viscosity. I think Viscosity was her first single. I'm still looking to see. I keep sending her invites. So hopefully it says it's successful. So I'm not sure if it's a challenge. But anyway, let's talk about how we can support her. So go download it. It's dope. You know what? Let me see if I can. I don't own the rights to it, but I did download it. So okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, she's back. She's coming back. She's coming back. Thank you, everybody, for holding tight with us, because if you know me, you know it's going to be a good combo. Welcome back.
I'm here. Thank you. I don't know what happened.
I don't know. That was like, you know the conversation we were having behind the scenes. I'm like, I'm praying to the technical gods.
I know. I could hear you the whole time. That was the weird part. I could still hear you, but for some reason it cut off.
It might have been my stuff. I apologize. But I was basically just telling people that when we support here in my community and your community, if they're not already following, we love follows, but we like downloads, because downloads help pay the bills and get us further, right?
Right.
So share this information, right? Put TiffsBass out there, because she's dope. And if you're having an event or know someone that's having an event, make sure. Well, you're back now, so let's keep this conversation going. But you were talking about the amazing the amazing drummers, the two women that brought you in on that. So that's dope.
Yeah. So it was so fun. It was a lot of energy. They're always so energetic. The stage with them is always the best. So I had a blast. I really did.
That is great. Let me ask you this. So you were saying how you were at the Grammys. Did you have a fan out moment at the Grammys? Like, is there that one person that you were like, oh my God?
I want to say no. Because I don't know, it's so weird. Like, I meet other celebrities, I'm like, oh, it's so good to meet you. And I don't have that, but I will say, Esperanza Spalding, I had a miniature, fan out moment. I tried to keep cool. I hope I did on the outside and not like, oh my God, but it was cool. And I got a chance to meet her finally and take pictures with her and everything. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
okay.
Cool.
Okay, that counts.
Yeah.
That counts as a fan out moment. And I'm sure you were just as calm and collective as you are right now. So no doubt in my mind. So, I like to tell people that I think are amazing, that you're amazing. You should always stand in that, right? Stand in the fact that you are solid and you have practice and you've gotten to be where you are because you're confident and you are accomplished. But for you, what was that aha moment, or that, damn, I made it? What was that? Was there a moment? Anything that happened when you were like, I'm supposed to be in this place right now?
I think it was more internal, not necessarily a moment, but an overall season. I just feel like from the start, I always knew I was supposed to be in music full time, like dedicating my whole life to it. So the more and more I applied myself, the more and more I saw myself, going further and further. And I saw that when I'm doing work, that hard work really works. But I think most of it is focusing and not watching other people around you. You allow, your friends and your family and everything to encourage you. You keep, working with your friends and everything. But I think you should always model after people that are where you want to be and have what you want to have. So that's why I would look at people like Kobe Bryant, and even though he's not a musician or wasn't a musician or anything, but
that work ethic is monster.
Exactly, and that's all it is. That's what everything boils down to, I think. So I didn't have an aha moment, but I just think it was the start of the season when I just kept doing what I was doing and what I was doing. I did have some moments where it was more like, oh my gosh. I remember when I was on the same stage with Angela Bassett. I used to watch her in movies, and then I was on a stage with her, and I was like I used to see her on my TV when I was a kid, and then I'm standing right next to her. So that was more like a, oh my goodness. So
So that was like a, oh, I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay, I've arrived at this moment because I don't see her on TV. I see her like in person, like
She's
reach
like
out
right
and touch.
here. Right,
Okay,
right, literally.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah,
Okay,
like on a stage. Yeah. So, that was something.
fantastic. So I didn't send you this question, right?
Oh, okay.
I we're women. And as women in the world, I feel like we're always being challenged with things. So, how many people in your industry, and you could be as nice as you want, but I know that this has happened, have you had to basically check?
Huh.
Because you've been
Like,
doing this since you were 11, right? So, there's
yeah.
something to be said about don't question why I'm here. Like
Right.
my presence is enough. But have
Right.
you had to do that? Was there one specific instance that you were like, I can't let this one slide?
You know what's funny? I have had those instances, but not with people in the industry, with people out of the industry. So, like a lot of times, if I always tell if I'm in the airport, someone might say, "Can you really play that thing?" And I'm like, "Okay." I try not to give them the stupid question look because I'm like, I'm in an airport with a bass. If I couldn't play,
Why would
what
I
am I gonna
carry
do?
it through the airport?
Right. So little things like that. But no, as far as in the industry, I never really, not that I can remember, I never had to check anybody. I just say, the way you check people is you show up and you play how you play. You know your music, you know how you sound, you know what you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do. You do your best. And that's
That
the
part.
check. That's the check.
A check is let my work speak for me.
Right. That's it. That's it. I don't feel the need to explain myself like, oh yeah, I'm a girl, but I can really play. None of that. You just show up and you do your thing. And you don't try to hide behind, there's some people, no one that we know, but some people that are female musicians, but they might try to hide behind, I'm a girl, and no, you're an instrumentalist first. Then you happen to be a lady.
I love it. I love it.
Because
Okay.
I'm
So are you ready? So I started this, I co-host a radio show with one of my really good friends from childhood, and I started this Caz Quickie. And I think it's fun and it's pretty rapid fire. And I usually say you could pass if you want, but you only get to pass. I'll let you pass 2 maybe.
okay.
Because I usually do 10, and I think I did more than 10 because I got excited. So I usually time it, but I'm not going to time it.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I think so. Okay, I'm ready. Let's go.
Who's your biggest fan?
My biggest fan?
Who's your biggest fan?
Oh man. I don't know if he's okay. I think I have more than one biggest fan because I don't want to like make anybody mad. But there's a fan on Instagram. His name is Marvin. I hope he sees this later if he doesn't see it right now. There he is. He just signed on. Marvin is, I'll say, one of my biggest fans. That fan is the most supportive, biggest fan. He's been following me for what, a year or 2 now. So, and he shows up and shows out all the time. So yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Shout out to
Yeah.
Marvin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, but there's more than one biggest fan. And my sister
Tell me.
made it up. My mom and my sister. I have several sisters, but that one on there she's Lisa Lovebug. I don't know if you can see her. They've been to all of my shows.
She said me and mom.
Yes, all of my shows. They've watched me come from here to here, So yeah, big time. Big
Marvin,
support.
mom, and Lisa. I love it. I love it. Okay, let's keep it going. Dog or cat?
Dog.
Favorite Stevie Wonder song?
I'm gonna say All I Do.
Go-go or jazz?
That's not even fair.
You could skip if you want. We might come back to it, but you could skip.
That's really equal. That's really equal.
Okay,
That's a hug.
that's an answer.
Yeah.
That is an answer. Here's another one. Mumbo sauce or Ben's chili bowl?
Mumbo sauce.
If God told you that you had reached the height of your career as TiffsBass and playing bass guitar, what would you focus on next?
My next stage name and my next instrument to reach that highest height.
Esmeralda Spalding or Bootsy Collins?
Esmeralda Spalding.
What was the name of your first music teacher and where?
Oh, man. I don't remember his name, but he was in a music school and he taught me how to, well, actually, no, let me backtrack. My first music teacher was Frank Washington in New Jersey. He taught me how to play bass, period. How to like pick it up. And this is a bass, that's like,
Shout out to Frank Washington in New Jersey. That's dope. What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Vanilla.
If you can get on stage and play bass guitar next to any artist or entertainer not mentioned today, who would it be and why?
Do they have to be living?
Nope.
Prince.
Cool. Did you say why?
Because he is not like everybody else. He's unique. I like to align myself with people like that. He's amazing. He's great. Well, was amazing, was great, and unique. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. I like it. Prince, Kobe, like, you get it. Like, yes. Yeah. Where's your next vacation destination? And do you want to say who you would take?
My next vacation, I would say, now you're going to say this is totally weird, Switzerland. I know, it's like so.
Where you want to go? Did you want to say who you would take?
I don't know who I would take.
Okay. You don't have to say.
I don't know.
Switzerland. Yeah. I'm going to come back to that maybe at the end. Lakers or Wizards? Lakers or Wizards?
Lakers.
What's your most memorable performance?
Oh, wow. So far. I would say my most memorable one so far was my most recent artist show. Out of all performances, that's a hard question. Yeah, I would say because it was like one of my best, most fun, most fulfilling, most memorable, most, it had a lot of symbolism and a lot of, what is the word? I'm trying to think of the word. It was just very special. So yeah, I would say my most one at the City Winery in DC. That one was good.
Okay, awesome. What is on Tiff's bass rider?
What's not on Tiff's bass rider? On my rider, really just hotels preferred, hotels not preferred, airlines not preferred. Very specifically,
anything super like I have to have this one thing, like I don't know. Like red Argentinian shrimp. I don't know.
I can't have shrimp, but one big thing on there is hot tea.
Cool.
I have to have my hot tea. So
do you have a brand of hot tea that you like?
Nope. Well, I love matcha green tea, but I just have to have hot tea. Like that's
okay. One of my best friends, I don't know if she's on here, but she put me on to Ivy tea cup. It was good. Like the flowers blossom and the tea. It's dope. Essence or ebony?
Essence.
Okay. Last question for you.
Okay.
There are 128 days left in 2021. What is the most important thing on your life list to accomplish in this year?
In this year, if I the most important thing this year for the rest of the year would be to make a major step towards my next biggest move, if that makes any sense.
It does. And I want to ask you what that is, but I'm not going to ask you because it sounds like you don't want to say yet. So,
or let's save it for the next interview. How about that?
Let's save it for the next interview. That means you want to come back on Convos with Caz. That is awesome. So it is 6:33, and I know we talked about will we have enough time? And look at that, we did.
Yeah, we did. This was fun.
I am so humbled by you. And not just the interview, but again, how you were like, hey, tap tap.
Yeah.
Are we doing this? And you really charged me up, and you gave me some confidence that, I'm pretty confident, but we didn't know each other. And you were like, no, we're going to do this. Your energy is amazing. So I am humbled, and I want to sincerely thank you.
Thank
you. I've already downloaded your music, which brings us back to everybody that is listening. It is great to go and follow. It is even better to go and download and to tell them where they can get your music.
Well, it's on all the platforms. The easiest thing to do is go to TiffsBass.com. Go to my website. Make sure you put an S after Tiff. That's a common mistake in emails and everything else. TiffsBass, TiffsBass.com. There's links to all of my music there. Everything, all my social media platforms, all my music, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, Napster. I don't know all the platforms. So they're all on there. There's links to get to all of those. So Yeah. Someone said Switzerland is great.
Yeah, and Marvin is fanning out right now, by the way.
I'm sorry. He is great. I'm telling you, he is so great. My
Marvin,
sister
you're
said yes,
clearly
thank you.
deserving because she definitely shouted you out first before her mom and sister. So keep that in mind. Okay, so where will you be next? Like I said, I used to live in DC. I didn't say how long, but for a while. So I have a lot of people on here that I see from the DC metro area, my parents included. So can they see you somewhere next soon or?
Yes, I have another engagement. I don't know where the actual venue is. But there's another thing. So on my website, you can sign up for my newsletter. And whenever I have a show coming up or whatever the case is, an interview like this or whatever the case is, they can go to my newsletter, sign up, and they'll get that in their emails every time something comes out. So they'll know all the details, where, how much, if anything, the time, all that stuff. So I have a few things coming up in September as well, and the rest of this month, August. But I think exactly.
Fantastic.
Stuff, so.
Is there anything else that you want to tell the Convos with Caz community, and of course your community that's on here supporting you? Anything else you want to say?
Anything? Questions? At first, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. You guys don't have to. There's so many people on the Instagram platform. There's a million people here. So I really appreciate everybody tuning into mine and tuning into anything I post, whether it's a picture, a video, whatever, anything, all my music. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I never take those things for granted. Any questions?
Yeah, I don't think I saw any questions. Great conversation. That would be my mom. Thanks, Mom.
Oh, thanks, Mom.
I don't see any questions. Anybody have any questions?
Questions for me? Questions for Kat?
I think they're being shy now. However, we're getting tons of accolades and like the hearts. So I'll take that.
Thank you.
Take that.
Right.
And you can follow both of us online, just not in person.
Mm-hmm. Someone said, "Why Aguilar?" I don't do Aguilar.
I don't know what that is.
So Aguilar is a electronics company. So they make they make amplifiers, bass amplifiers, preamps, and all that stuff. I have a funny story with Aguilar. I was playing on an Aguilar bass amp for a wedding, and it caught on fire. So right when I went to do a solo, I have not even a love-hate relationship with Aguilar. It's not but I'm also signed with GRBass. So yeah, GRBass is another bass amp company. That's the one that you had mentioned in my bio. So to Bass by Grace, I can't get with Aguilar. I'm sorry.
Someone else said advice for. Do you have advice for upcoming artists? And
yes.
Okay.
Advice for upcoming artists. I would say definitely follow your own path. I know that sounds so generic, but follow your own path. No matter what people tell you, do take advice. Always be open to advice. That's another biggie. But filter it.
That's good. So someone else said, which amp
do you use?
Go ahead.
No problem. I use GRBass amplifiers because they give a nice, crisp, warm sound, and it pairs well with my bass as well. I think that's another important thing. So, yeah, that's.
And she's the first U.S. bass endorsee of GRBass amps. How about that?
Yes. Who are you dating beyond? Well, that's the kind of stuff we don't talk about on live.
I mean, really? Like, well, hold on. You trying to shoot? Is this person trying to shoot their shot? Because
I don't know.
Sorry. My bad. Funny. This is not a dating episode. This is Convos with Caz.
Right.
We're having a good time here. Okay, so we're gonna end on that note. Again, thank you so much. This was an amazing conversation. I am gonna go pop a little bottle of bubbles to celebrate the first most amazing conversation I could have ever asked for on Convos with Caz.
I'm honored. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I'm honored to be the first one. This was really fun. Really, really fun. Hope everyone enjoyed.
I'm so glad. Thank you. And I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna stop this, but I need to make sure I save it. I practiced this earlier.
Yes.
So
I'm gonna save mine too.
Okay. Let me figure out how to do that. Okay. I think I just closed it. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. And, you can save it to your IGTV as well. So if you want to just make sure it saves for sure, I would just say hit the IGTV option. I do that sometimes.
Is that what I hit after I hit the X?
Yeah, after it's going to give you a choice. It's going to tell you what to do. So, yep. Bye, everybody. Thank you for tuning
Thank you.
in.
Bye, everyone. And stay tuned for information on the next Convos with Caz, because it's going to be hard to come back after this one, but I've got some amazing and dope people lined up. So
Yes,
see you guys soon. And thank you again, TiffsBass.
Thank
You are awesome.
you. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.